I'm not religious. Christmas to me is fun for the kids. It's about family. It's getting together. The kids are super excited. They go to bed early. They get up next day, seeing what Santa's left them, hoping they've been good enough to get presents and not just a lump of wood or coal. In the afternoon, you have a big Christmas dinner, probably with the rest of your family. Some people find it traditional to listen to the Queen or King's speech. Now, I always thought people that celebrated Christmas did so in a similar way. But boy oh boy, was I wrong. So here today, we're looking at some of the strangest Christmas traditions around the world. In at 10, Santa's postcode, Canada. Okay, this one isn't strange, but it is super cool. In Canada, the postal system actually recognises the address of Santa. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not actually all that impressive. Quite a lot of countries do that, or companies within countries. But in Canada, you don't have to pay postage. However, if you do want a response from Santa, because all the letters get opened and responded to, so if you want that response, you have to put your return address. So what is Santa's address? And I think this is the coolest part without a doubt. Obviously, you have to address it to Santa. And then you could put North Pole or whatever you wanted. But it doesn't matter. You could just put Santa and then the postcode. And the postcode is H0H0H0. And if you look at that right, that's ho ho ho. Number 9, the Krampus. The Krampus isn't actually attached to just one country. It exists. The tradition exists in Germany, Austria, and other parts of Eastern Europe. The Krampus's name derives from a German word Krampen, meaning claw. The history of the Krampus has been theorised as stretching all the way back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions. Celebrations involving the Krampus date back to the 6th or 7th century. Its appearance varies quite a lot, but its most common attributes is hairy, usually brown or black, and has the long cloven hoofs and horns of a goat, with a long pointed tongue and fangs. Now, I'm trying in this little bit of a clip to show you as many variations as possible, and we could talk about the variations for hours, but we ain't got time for that. It's Christmas. Irregardless of all the variations, this dude is scary, and it's certainly not something that I'd think of when I think of Christmas. So what is this dude's connection to Christmas? Why does something so dark and scary fit into the Christmas theme? Well, during the Advent season, while Santa's going around rewarding all the children for their good behaviour, giving them wonderful gifts and things, the Krampus does the opposite. He goes around scaring the children that have misbehaved, punishing them with birch rods. Again, his punishment and what he does varies a little bit, but I don't care what he does. That dude's got me scared. I'm going to behave this year. At number 8, the Kagane, the Pooing Man, and the Pooing Log. I need you to close your eyes for a second and picture a nativity scene. Now, as you do this, I'm sure you're going to see the 3 wise men, baby Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and maybe some animals like the donkey, right? Well, in Catalonia, there's an extra guy on the scene. Traditionally, he's a peasant, wearing the traditional Catalan red cap, with his trousers down, showing his bare backside, and yeah, he's defecating. The name El Cagana literally means the crapper. His origin is unknown, but it's thought that he first appeared in the late 17th or early 18th century, and no one even really knows why he's there. There is a lot of possible explanations though. One thing I read said something about fertilising the earth or something. But as you notice, there were 2 things on the intro. The Catalonian tradition does not stop there. There's also the Cagatio, a pooping wooden log with a painted face and 2 front legs. It kind of reminds me of the caterpillar cakes that we get in the UK. The story with this log is that the days running up to Christmas, the children have to warm it and they have to take care of it, keep it warm, feed it little bits of food and stuff, and then on Christmas Day, if they've done a good enough job, it'll defecate their presents. So roll on to Christmas, the log's now sat there, all wrapped up in a blanket, near the fire. The kids come in, see it, they all go off to pray. In this day and age, they don't all pray, some just go and warm the sticks up. While they're doing that, the parents secretly stuff loads of presents under the blanket. The kids then come back in and beat it with these sticks. And then, by doing so, the presents fall out. And on that note, we're moving on to the next one. Number 7, we're going to roller skate to church, Venezuela. This is probably the lightest item on my list. Now, going to Mass is quite a tradition in a lot of countries, for religious people, obviously. But in Venezuela, they do so on roller skates. The tradition's actually got that big that the government have now started closing roads till 8 AM just to maintain safety. There's that many people skating, they close the roads. When Mass is finished, the families then convene in the streets and other people's houses to share food, play music and dance. Number 6, Loxoluk, Slovakia. Now before we go to Slovakia, here in Britain we apparently had a tradition of putting a sixpence in the Christmas cake. Oh, Christmas pudding, sorry. For good luck. I can never remember that, I don't like Christmas pudding anyway. But I can remember breaking the turkey's wishbone with his fingers. You looked your fingers round the bone with another person, pulled, whoever got most of the bone made a wish. And in Slovakia, they have a similar thing revolving around luck. It's tradition for the man of the house to hurl a spoonful of loksa, which is made of poppy seeds, honey, milk and bread, at the ceiling. The more that sticks to the ceiling, the more luck the family's going to have that year. Sounds a bit messy, to be fair. Number 5, Hide the Pickle, Germany. We're going to Germany now, although this apparently happens in America too. It's apparently a Christmas Eve tradition that dates back to the 19th century, and it's to hide a pickle ornament on a branch of the Christmas tree. On Christmas morning, the child or the children get up, and whoever finds it first gets a special gift, or gets good luck for the oncoming year. Number 4, a spider on the tree, Ukraine. Now this is quite a simple one. Decorate the Christmas tree with spiders and cobwebs. Wherever I looked for this, it said different things, but basically the idea is at least a cobweb on the tree. Usually ornaments, not really usual spiders or cobwebs, but you'd get ornaments, spiders and cobwebs, put them on the tree. Although we don't know the actual origins, there is a folktale about it. The story is, a poor hard-working widow once lived in a small hut with her children. One summer's day, a pine cone fell on the earth floor in the hut and it took root. The widow's children took care of the tree. They were excited that by Christmas they could have a Christmas tree. The tree did grow by Christmas, and Christmas Eve arrived and they had this Christmas tree in the house, but they didn't have any money to decorate it. They could not afford any decorations. The children, all gutted and upset, went to bed and fell asleep. Early the next morning, the children got up and the tree had been decorated. And you guessed it, it was decorated in cobwebs. They opened the curtains just as sunrise were coming. The beam of light came through the windows and lit this tree up, all the cobwebs glistening silver and gold in the sunlight. And I think the catch is this gold and silver actually turned into real gold and silver because they were overjoyed and they never lived in poverty again. Now, when I wrote that down, I didn't actually realise that's what it meant. I thought they were just happy to have decorations. But it seems that it's fairy tale and they became rich. Kind of ruins it for me a bit. I was thinking they were making most of it, but it turns out they were happy because they were rich. Money's not everything, kids. Either which way, still a lovely story, I suppose. Number 3, Hide the Brooms, Norway. Back to the dark side of Christmas, I'm afraid. Because it's believed in Norway that Christmas Eve is a time of arrival for evil spirits and witches. I mean, put yourself in their position. When there's loads of witches and evil spirits coming, it only makes sense to take every precaution possible to protect yourself. I mean, you wouldn't want a witch coming into your house, seeing a broom, and using it for doing witchy things, would you? Riding it, or whatever else they do with it, sweep up. So, that being said, it is tradition apparently in Norway that before they go to bed on Christmas Eve, they hide all their brooms. Number 2, Jólaköttur, Iceland. Now, if we do the imagination exercise again, you close your eyes, you think of a Jólaköttur. What did you picture? Because I pictured a nice fluffy little kitten with a nice Christmas Santa hat on. It were lovely. But that'd be far from what the Jólaköttur is. The Jólaköttur we're talking about is huge and vicious. It lurks about in the snow during Christmas, and then it eats people who are wearing scruffy clothes. This folklore dates back to medieval times, and it were actually used to motivate wool factory workers to work in harder. The chilly Scandinavian winters were coming, they needed wool. If you worked hard and got them wool products, you'd get some new clothes. If you didn't work hard, you wouldn't get new clothes, and you'd have to feel the wrath of the Yule Cat. Number 1. Shoe tossing and elder tree shaking. Czech Republic. If you're a lady and you're feeling lonely on the run up to Christmas, fear not, there is hope. In the Czech Republic, it is apparently tradition for unmarried ladies to stand with their backs towards their front door. Shoe in hand, they throw their shoe over the shoulder, towards the door, obviously. If the shoe lands with its toe pointing at the door, good luck, because at some point in the next 12 months, you're going to get married. But fear not, if that doesn't work, don't lose hope. A similar tradition for unmarried girls in Czech Republic is shaking the elder tree, in which the, again, unmarried girl goes up to the elder tree and shakes it. Now, while you're shaking this tree, if a dog barks, wherever this dog barks is the direction of where the person you're going to marry lives. But he has to bark while you're shaking the tree. There you go. There are some of the strangest traditions I could find. Now, I know that some of you might be a little bit angered by what I've said about these traditions, especially if they're close to your heart. And I want you to know that there is something you can do with that anger. You can email me your complaints. My email address for those complaints are stopbeingmardy@christmas.com. All joking aside, I hope you enjoyed this video, but most of all, I really hope you have a really, really good Christmas and a happy new year. Healthily, warm, and just prosperous. Before you go, there's a few things I want you to do. I want you to press subscribe. It means the world to me when you subscribe. I want you to put your thumbs up to let me know you like it. But something else that would help me with the algorithm and make me smile throughout my Christmas is if you went down into the comments and let me know what little traditions you have in your house. I'm not talking about countrywide traditions or anything like that, although you feel free to put them, but I want to know what them little things are. My missus has got tons, like for example, she has to spend a fortune on sweets to give the kids Christmas Eve in the stockings, and they never get out, and I sit there going, more money we've wasted. Weren't all the presents enough? Have a jolly good Christmas, guys. Thank you.